Welcome, everybody. For those who might not know, I'm Dr. Willie Jolly, and this is
his trusty sidekick, Dee.
Dee Taylor-Jolley, who runs everything. And
except you.
You run me. You
I try. I'm not.
So Terrence is with us, Senior Terrence. Good to be with you, brother. For those who don't know, we're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. You can get that book at jollymarriage.com. If you'd like to get it signed, just say who you want it signed to. We recommend you get 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other, so y'all can grow together. All right. We are grateful for all of you who are joining us. We are excited about Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast, taken from the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And we're grateful for all the people around the world. We were in Vegas last week, so we haven't actually been live. We've had
it was pre-recorded last week.
Yeah. So my last Monday night, I was on, at this time of the evening, I was on stage emceeing and hosting the Hall of Fame show that featured cameos from Gladys Knight, my dear friend. She was kind enough when I reached out to her to send a wonderful cameo. And my buddy George Wallace, the funny man who was sent a cameo. He was in Atlanta. Gladys was in North Carolina, where she's been throughout the pandemic, in Asheville. And then I was able to get to come in live on stage at Caesar's Palace, Mr. Las Vegas, my buddy Clint Holmes.
And he's Mr. Las Vegas because he replaced Sammy Davis Jr.
He replaced Sammy Davis Jr. at Harris.
And he can sing. And it was an amazing story. You got 10 seconds.
I won't tell a story. I won't tell a story because when we get the video, I'm going to post it.
Okay.
It was so profound, so profound. Paul Finkelstein is here. Hey. So Sanika Sykes. Hey, we love Sanika Sykes. Yes, we do. And so we've got so many people who are joining us. Thank you for joining us. Let's talk about it.
I'm focused.
Everybody's talking about your hair.
What are you saying about my hair?
Cute buns. I say to her when she wears those, take me to ya later. Take me to ya later.
It's been that kind of week where it was this.
Oh, Linda Kazera, we got to take we got to show y'all. We don't have time.
We got time to do that.
We got a picture.
Sorry, and then it said.
Yeah. So anyway, there's my grandson. I'll tell him I'll call him back. Grandson, I'll call you back. We're on TV, okay? All right. So he was with us in Vegas. We had a great time. Now, after Vegas, we had the great Hall of Fame show last Monday night, right at the same time, and I'm hosting it, and I produced the show, and it was fantastic. Clint Holmes was fantastic. I sang.
Honey,
Clint Holmes.
You said that.
All right, now, next thing is this weekend, we went to Eastern Shore of Maryland for the wedding of my our goddaughter, I guess, Janelle Bordley, and that was Saturday, and then Sunday.
And Ryan Simmons, she didn't get married by herself.
Oh yeah, she didn't get married with Ryan, and that was fabulous, a fabulous wedding. Even though they got married officially last year, they had the big celebration this year. And then on Sunday, we were blessed to have a guided tour of Eastern Shore, Dorchester County, the home of Harriet Tubman. We went to the plantation where she ran away. We went to the museum. We went to Frederick Douglass plantation. We saw where he was born. It was fabulous. It was 8 hours we were out. 8 hours.
And my brother, Rivers, and his wife were with us. It was a wonderful family weekend celebration, everything. All right, let's get to the topic.
Let's get to the topic.
People leave us.
Don't leave us, because we got to talk about something important.
So the topic is unequal ambition and sex. Are we in your bedroom?
Ooh.
Actually, this is a topic that has come up conversation 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Actually, 2 weekends. You were at one function and had a conversation with you. Won't say who, and then at another function, they brought it up to you. Now, he is really the counselor, so they tend to go to him first. I'm like, I wonder why they don't come to me first.
Because she doesn't have that kind of personality. So you on a bridge? You want to jump?
No, I don't say that. I don't say anything.
And the man said he gonna jump off the bridge.
No, I don't. I've learned.
What would you say?
No,
nothing.
I don't say anything.
You wouldn't say.
But he is basically,
you wouldn't tell him to stop.
No.
What would you say?
No, I'm not gonna say anything. But
jump! You want to jump? That's what you say.
That's not what I say.
All right, go ahead.
But he's compassionate. He's thoughtful. And then the conversation that we had after, I'm like, I don't know. I have thoughts, and none of them are very good. So I can't talk about it. So anyway, so the topic is unequal ambition and sex. Are we in your bedroom? And in both of those cases, and then we did some follow-up, and then Cheryl helped us with some other articles, that it tends to be, I'm not saying always, because we don't have exactly empirical research that says it's the woman who's coming, because in both cases, they were women.
Yes.
In many of the articles, there are women who's saying that my mate is not ambitious and it doesn't turn me on, and what should I do?
And it's impacted their sex life.
Yes.
Tremendously. Both were very open and amazing.
These two situations with the females that we know, professional, and one is currently a PhD professor, right?
Yes.
And she's married to an engineer. So in both cases, these are high-income earners who are bringing in over $200,000 a year. But in her mind, it's like still not enough money. But
and she made the majority of the income in her job, and she kept pushing him to look. Just ask for more raise. You work like a little beaver there. Ask for more.
So he's a good father.
Yep.
Takes great care of the children.
Yep.
Is kind to her.
Yes, he's not abusive.
He's not abusive.
But he was not ambitious.
And that's a turn off to her.
And it was a turn off.
So it's a physical, it's an emotional, there's no intimacy there.
And then
I felt bad.
Yeah, and then we had a staff person when we started talking about this topic who said, my hand went up. She said, my hand went up. I can relate to that.
Okay, so then the next weekend, another function.
Yep.
And again, female, and she responded after. We won't say the particulars of the situation in case somebody might know who we're talking about. Again, she's a type A personality.
Go get her.
Very successful, working on her PhD. And is married to a one who you would consider a blue collar worker. I would say a master mechanic.
Yeah.
But is not kind and loving.
Right.
That was the concern.
Right. Not
what do you do? And I said, well, you should tell him what you want.
She said, I done told him every which way I could think to tell him, and it's not working. And I am not feeling it in the bedroom. When she said that, I said, whoa, woo. Then, that caught my attention. I said,
and
wow.
She's a Christian woman.
Yeah. And so this is, when you see it happen over and over again, then this is something we probably felt we needed to talk about, because this is a place where there's a disconnect. Mm-hmm. And we talk about in the book so many things. One of the words that kept coming up during my conversation with the first lady was trust. And I told Dee today, one of the things that impacts marriages and relationships is trust. And it's not just trust over money or trust about you insecurity. We've had a couple conversations about that this week too. People are calling us. I must say thank you, Linda Kazera, for being so supportive when we saw you in Vegas. Mm-hmm. But here's what all the people who walked up to us during our time in Vegas and walked up and said, I'll watch you on Monday night.
So I wouldn't know that. If you don't say anything or don't put a little hello, we wouldn't know. But let's get back to, I don't understand why you say it's a trust issue.
Because
you are unequally yoked as far as your ambition.
Well,
I don't get it.
All right, she said she had talked to first woman. Okay. I've talked to him. He says he's going to be more assertive. He's going to go in there and tell them, I need a raise. I need to make more money. But he comes back home and doesn't do what he says. We get a plan, but we got in some financial issues. We get a plan, but he doesn't keep his word. He didn't hold up his end of the bargain. He didn't do what he said he was going to do. And that she said,
well, maybe he can't.
Well, then don't make the. So here's the questions. Here's the things that we want to share about that. If you can't do what you say you can do, I understand that. Just don't say it. Do not say it if you can't deliver.
But maybe he's embarrassed and caught in the moment and caught with you're having a conversation and you're impassioned and you say, okay, dear, okay.
All right, let me go. I'm going to be a lawyer here. All right, here's a lawyer.
Oh.
All right, so I've never practiced street law when I was in high school. Now, ma'am, did Willie Jolly, who you married when you were living in his mother's attic, he said, if you live in my mama's attic for a year, what do I promise you?
You buy me a house.
And so, ma'am, a year after you moved into his mother's attic, where did you go?
We moved into this house a year and 2 days later.
All right, so a year later, he went. But ma'am, when Willie Jolly told you when your Mercedes burnt up, he said, I'm going to get you a new Mercedes. I'm going to work it out. You will have a new car, and it will be paid for. Ma'am, did that happen?
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, did this Jolly guy, when he said he was going to do something for you,
he has always kept his word to me. Okay, where are you going?
There's a trust that I'm trying to say to the married couple, not just the men. Folks, when you say it, we say it to our kids, we say it to our grandkids. If you say you're going to do it, make it happen. Do it. If you don't think you can do it or you have questions, don't say it. Say, I will try my best. But once you say, I'm going to get this done. And she said they had a plan. He said he would do it. He promised he would do it. And he didn't keep his promise. And it impacted her.
So did she share
what was
that?
The word she used? Her attraction. That's the word.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
So she's not sexually attracted to her husband
because
he doesn't keep his word, because he's not ambitious.
He didn't keep his word to do what he said that she thought was within the realm of possibilities.
So what do you do?
So what do you do?
Anybody have ideas?
Well, you know what?
We have ideas.
Here's something we talk about in the book. And by the way, we again are telling people, if you don't have the book, you need to get the book. You can get it at jollymarriage.com and Jolly Marriage, JOLLEY marriage.com. Get 2 copies. But we recommend, because a lady called today, said, I want the workbook. So Cheryl said, you know what I recommend you do is get the bundle, because you get 2 workbooks, 2 books, an audio book, and an audio CD. Book on CD. Go get the bundle at Jolly Marriage.
Really, the workbook costs more than a hardcover.
Yeah,
it's just
the workbook is fantastic.
Okay, so go ahead and say what you want to say.
So
I research it.
Out of the book, we talk about trust. We talk about it with some of the many people we interviewed, of which we were with 3 of the couples who in this book this weekend. Bradley and Terry Thomas, Len and Ronnie Borley, and Jeffrey and Denise Hart.
Yes.
And what we talk about is trust. And one of the great keeping your word and doing what you say, and then always being willing to compromise and work together. I think
some people just don't have backbone. They want to appease, and they don't have the courage to say, you know what, I can't do it. So how do you get the courage? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so here is, you got to keep your word. What if you don't have, how do you get the backbone? How do you get the wherewithal to say, honestly, I like my job. I like where I am, and I don't want to do anything else. There are some people like that.
Okay, then don't say to your spouse, hey, tell them the truth. Again, communication. What breaks up marriages, folks? We say it every week. Sex, money, and communication. The three big bundle of boulder. Dr. Melvin Murphy, my dear friend. Hey, man, it's good to see you. And Terrence Holmes and Phil Sorrentino. You know I love you, man. Now you know I love you, man.
Does Terrence say money makes you sexy?
Oh, money. He said money makes you sexy. Does money make you sexy? You better believe it. You know, no finance without romance, or no romance without finance. And so many people. Kathy McMillan, we got a lot of LinkedIn folks. This is the first time we broadcast on LinkedIn. I want to thank.
And I do agree, it does apply to women too.
All right, so you got research. For those who are joining us first time, we got lots of comments. And if you have a question, by the way, you can always send us a a point at info@williejolly.com that we were trying to address. But she goes into detail to do research.
You've been disappointed.
Yeah.
You've been disappointed. Your spouse, male or female, has not measured up to what they agreed to. What do you do?
What do you do?
Okay, so there were a couple of articles, and one, I had never even heard of this website, but Cheryl actually sent it to me. And it's called She Knows. Now, do I necessarily agree with everything? No. But it's a point of conversation, it's food for thought for people who have got to, I need to think through some of these issues. So this one, and it's called She Knows website, and I was looking for the coach, the psychologist, because I really like Psychology Today, but I couldn't find a particular Psychology Today article that directly addressed this. This site talks about when you have highly ambitious women and not as ambitious men, what do you do? And they took this survey, this limited survey, unscientific, of 100 people. 51% were married happily, 31% unhappily, 10% were divorced people, 6% separated, and 2% were widowed.
Oh, let me stop there. That's an interesting statistic, because we say often 50% of marriages break up. And then of the 50% that remain, 40% of the people, according to statistics, 40% of the people who remain of that 50% are miserable and only staying in a marriage for the children.
But this is an unscientific survey, but of the 100 people, you had 51% who were married and the rest were unhappy, divorced, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so the conclusion is that when you're in a marriage or in a relationship and you have where the woman is the type A personality and the man is not.
Like her. Go ahead.
I'm a sweet Southern belle. Don't mess with me.
A sweet Southern belle gangster. That's what she is.
So this website said balance it out. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? It says a highly ambitious woman and a not so ambitious man can find a harmonious balance in marriage. The secret is in emphasizing the strengths of your partner and allowing them to be who they are. I'm not sure what exactly that means. So you have to accept them the way that they are, which would suggest that you should have figured it out before you married them. I know it's like too late now. That is why having conversations in premarital counseling, or even before you get to that, of professional females who are looking for the right kind of mate because they're ready to get married, the clock is running out, and they want to have kids, and they settle. That's why we need to have conversations with people who are happily married.
So
how did they do it?
So we've gotten a number of emails as well from people saying, we want to know about you guys doing some marriage counseling for us. Or I sent them to Johnny Parker. They are marriage counselors. We are not marriage counselors. We are marriage mentors.
And what does that mean?
That means that we tell you what we've learned from our marriage. We've been married 36 years. As of less than a month. June 28th. Not had an argument in 33 years. And we have a ongoing honeymoon. It's been a honeymoon. We
like being with each other. And let's just say, let's get back to this. But one of my nephews during the wedding, when I said, okay, where's the girlfriend? What's going on? He was like, we're having challenges. COVID has been really hard on relationships. That's not so.
That he made a blanket. Yeah, he made a blanket statement. COVID has been hard on relationships.
Yeah, hard on your. I said that's not so.
Not on our relationship.
I love being with my husband.
We were stuck in the house, so and we love being stuck in the house.
Then be thankful you're not yet married. So you can get this worked out before you say I do.
And if you don't, you need to not say I do and move on. That's right. That's what we tell people in premarital counseling. You need to go.
That's why we're not counselors.
That's why we're not counseling. But the lady who called us when I did the church event last week, I spoke, and they asked me. I'm speaking to this virtual church event, and then the lady says, "Okay." At the end, I'm thinking they're going to ask me more questions about my book, "A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback," which is what I was talking about and how we get through the tough time. She said, "I got questions. I want to know about this marriage book because I'm single and I need to know what's in that marriage book can help me." I said, "Oh, you didn't know? There's a chapter.
You need to know. You need to read the whole thing.
There's a chapter in the book for single people, for those not yet married. She said, what? She said, I'm ordering one now. They did order. Two people ordered a big old box.
So back to
my library. I forgot. That's the new name. The Willie Jolly Success Mindset Library.
Volume 1.
Volume 1 comes in a big box. That's right.
Yes. So next, this website said lower your expectations. I thought, isn't that interesting? So in the sense of accepting your mate the way that they are, what is it about them? You don't agree with that. I'm just saying, what is it about them that you married them for to begin with?
Well, you married it. Now let's talk about real deal. People get married because they want to get married, okay? And then what they get there, they say, well, I'm going to shit.
Now, wait a minute. What do you mean they
want to be married? I want to be married.
I think that's women more so than men.
Well, maybe
because
so.
The clocks run out. If you,
but
you
men do too. Men do too, and they want to get married. They got this feeling, I need to be married, and
why? Sex?
Well, they get hooked up often.
That could be a misconception.
A brother got to get hooked up. Yeah, for those who are first timers, we talk about sex openly. We are people of faith, but we know that far too often in churches, nobody talks about sex, and sex is one of the big things that breaks up marriage because nobody talks about it. And a brother got to get hooked up often.
Okay, let's go back to it.
Hello.
So they want to get married.
Yeah, and so they want to get married, and then once they're married, then they say, not quite the way I was expecting it to be. So
unrealistic that we talked about when unrealistic expectations, which means that you did not talk about all of these things.
That's right.
That you're also very hopeful and you assume that certain things are going to happen. You know what?
They don't.
So you're not with lowering your expectations.
No, I'm not with that.
Okay. Another one, consider your glass half full.
Now that's an attitude. Now
for example, with our friend, the first one who's the PhD professor, she said he's a great dad.
Great dad.
He's very dependable.
So what you gotta look at, what are the things that I can say, this is great. Now I'm not getting this from that or this, but I'm grateful for this. Look, I know my wife. There's certain things about my wife I had to just say, I had to accept.
What could that possibly be?
Okay, she's anal. She takes a Xerox copy of something and proofreads it. See if any mistake.
Have Xerox.
Same difference. They know. They know what I mean. And then everything got to be in a certain place. Every little thing got to be in a certain place. And if I move it like grapes, they got to be. And then one day I saw the grapes in the box. In the container, and I know she doesn't like the little grape pulled off of the vine, off the little.
First of all, the presentation is always important. I don't want to eat something if the presentation isn't appropriate.
Okay. Now, Mitch says premarital counseling is critical. Absolutely. You need to be thinking about marriage counseling before you get married and going through some process. Now, we give you an example. We got I will leave nameless, a family member, very close family member, who went through premarital counseling.
It's a great book. He mentioned that
one. All right, okay, but let me get finished. Barbara Bechtel is on. Lord have mercy. We love Barbara. All right, I know, I'm getting off. Now, this family member went to premarital counseling and went through the counseling and passed the class and said the next day to us, done, over, I'm through. Because it's not the right one. And I said, why? Because I noticed that I did not love that woman like you love Dee Taylor-Jolley. I wasn't as passionate about that woman. Nice lady, but I was not passionate about her like you are about Dee.
But I think being willing to acknowledge it before you go down the aisle is a big deal.
Big deal. And that's why you got to have premarital counseling. You got to be able to.
In advance of.
Because people.
The engagement and buying the dress and paying for the whole.
And remember, when people are getting in that engagement, that ooh, I love you so, everything's all little butterflies and everything's great. Look, I told my son, look here, dude, listen here. If you see drama early, you're going to see it again. And so you got to be mindful that you're not going to change people if they are. You can't change a lion or a tiger and make them a pussycat. That's not going to work.
Okay.
So,
let's go forward.
Oh, let me read this little piece from the book about,
okay.
We'll go back to my promises and trust. On page number 117, and again, go get the book, Be a Promise Keeper. One way we created security, but many of the things we've gotten from these calls is a security issue. There's insecurity in some place in this relationship, and security is a big part of it.
Now, who created the insecurity?
Hello.
I don't know.
No,
in some instances, because you didn't keep your word, or the couple, the one party didn't keep their word, and makes the other one feel insecure. Like we have one friend who's going through situations, right? And it's always something, a lack of trust, which means there's a lack of security there.
Yeah. Okay, let me finish. Intimacy and security are two of the most powerful forces to make your spouse happy. Dee and I work together, travel together, spend leisure time together. When I walk across the hall to her office, I may kiss her on her cheek, touch her hand, or give her a squeeze. I enjoy any time I can have with her. And I love the rewards I get for all that attention I give her. Gents, I'm telling you, if you want more romance, you need to create more intimate moments with your wife while making her feel secure.
So
Gentlemen, you hear that? Make her feel secure and a brother get hooked up.
I think we need to, at some other point in time, talk about what intimacy means. Because sometimes when we give definitions, and we describe it, unless you give specific examples, people don't know. Because sometimes people grow up in
so cute.
Yes, dear. So sometimes people grow up in households where they don't really have a sense as to what intimacy and how to be loving to the other person. Let me go here.
We got 2 minutes.
There's this relationship coach whose name is Lauren Zander. Here's some interesting perspectives that she has. And she writes a column called Sex and Relationships. Okay. And she says, don't try to mold them into what you want them to be. Let them be who they are. And continue to applaud them for the good things that they do.
That's conditioning. That's positive conditioning. Yeah.
Applaud them for the things that they do well.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you build up their confidence. And make major agreements before marriage and during the marriage, which means like they attempted to do. You sit down and you decide, these are the things that are important to me. What are you going to do? And you got to keep your word. If you can't keep your word, don't say it.
Right.
And don't try to be a martyr. It's like, I work 25 hours and you only work 2. Woe is me. You're in it together.
We were on TV the other day. Look, it takes
Somebody saw us on television. At least one person saw us on Channel 9.
That's right. Larry Long, what's up, man? Good meeting you in Vegas. But here's what I say to everybody. And when I say to them, I say, look, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. And we in this team together. It's just me and her. We go attacking the problem and not each other. And that's what I want to say to everybody is y'all in it together. Find somebody who's your best friend. I've been saying this to married folk. Find somebody who's your best friend, somebody who you love being around. You just dig being around them.
Oh, you're going to have to work at it.
Oh, you work at it.
They already married. This is primarily
what happens if they're married and they're not best friends. Then you got to read chapter 1 in the book. We tell you how to be friends. Each one of you need to read it.
You got to decide that you want to be together, because together is a lot cheaper than being apart.
Come on,
financial.
And now she been talking about money. Y'all know she been talking about money. People are asking all of her about
that's
money.
A whole nother thing about the investing and the financial freedom.
Look at now that man understands that his wife marriage bed is tied to money. Why would he ever be motivated to advance financially? That would be very troubling. The brother knows that he got to make more money to get the finance going. The romance and the finance are connected. And if you
he says, I wouldn't trust her.
Well, you know what? You in it now. So let's figure out how to make it work. All right, make it work. Again, that's about a communication issue. All of this about communication. Who called the other day? I told her the 4 F's. Oh, we got to get rid of him, but be friendly. He had a problem. I said, you got to be friendly, man. Don't start off being friendly. Then be frank.
Please don't text. How can you be frank communicating through a text?
No, you got to have communication. Be friendly, be frank. Not frank about what you did, but frank about how it made me feel. Be friendly, be frank about your feelings. You can't do that
via text.
Right. Be fair. Be willing to listen. You got to listen to them. And listen to this. Oh, I didn't realize that.
You both want to win. You don't want to kill your mate.
Nope. I don't want to kill nobody.
With word or deed.
Nope.
Right?
I want
Emotionally.
I want to
or
encourage them.
physically.
I want to encourage them, and I want to inspire them. Be friendly, be frank about your feelings, be fair, listen, and be focused on a win-win. That we in this together. We in this to win. We in this to win in our finances. We in to win with our family. We in to win with our future. We in this together. You take on Willie Jolly. You taking on both of us. Hello.
I'm fierce.
All right, that's right. Mitch, I want to thank you, and it was a great CPA event. Thank you all of those who have responded. We've had, I would get that video of that CPA and take the excerpts. It was fantastic. Come with me, and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. And then Clint Holmes killed him. Look, thank y'all so much. Go get the book at jollymarriage.com. Get the bundle. Look, we say it all the time. If you invested time in getting married and courting and all of that and going to movies and dinners, you invested time. Wouldn't it make sense to invest $150 and get the bundle so y'all can stay married? Come on, somebody. Don't be going to the divorce lawyer where it starts at about 10 grand. No, let's get this married. You can fix it. We'll help you. Go get the bundle and go to jollymarriage.com and get the bundle. 2 books, 2 workbooks, audiobook, and a seminar CD. Hey, Johnny Parker, thank you. Thank you, Terrence. Thank you, everybody who's joining us. We out. We know we're going to be doing a seminar soon. Y'all got to follow us. We will let you know. Jolly out. Jolly out.